government is taking steps to develop and harness the country's 208.62 trillion cubic feet of gas. According to him, the government was trying to achieve this aim through enhanced gas exploration and development, as well as utilization of schemes which would lead to gas reserves growth. Well, this brings to mind the Gas Master Plan, which is not new in Nigeria. It was conceived in 2006 by now NNPC Limited to move gas within Nigeria, achieve a domestic gas utilization plan, and also, of course, to expand it and improve our foreign reserve. Well, to speak to this, we have Mr. Joseph Ezigbo. He is the Managing Director of Falcon Petroleum, joining us this morning in the studio. Good to have you, Professor Ezigbo.
Sorry, what a professor of Mr.
It's all you.
Yes.
Thank you for that. So, we talk a lot about reserve and potentials in Nigeria. Another area of potential is gas. And it's not new. It's not a new conversation. I know I've read a lot and heard a lot. A couple of months ago in the House of Representatives, they brought up the issue of pipeline project that's supposed to develop and, move gas through Morocco to Europe and all that. But what's the real state? You are in there. Please give us, what's the real state of gas development in Nigeria?
You know, each time the topic comes up, I take a deep breath. I've heard the word potential in the oil and gas industry, so much so that it is now meaningless. Because if everything you can think of Nigeria as potential, then it's unfortunate. And at times, permit me to use this word, at times I think it's criminal for us to get to that point where everything is in the potential form, in the sense that Nigeria, we're not bereft. Nigeria is not bereft of ideas. We have had so many. We have had so many policies, so many ideas put out there in the open to try and help us grow the oil and gas in this country. But not, you see, what it takes is the political and the economic will, and that's it. But selfishness in several quarters tend to minimize the efforts of good people. Nigeria is not bereft of ideas of what to do. We are bereft of the willingness, both political and economic, to try and pursue them. You talk about Nigeria being, we have so much gas. As we speak now, it's about 200 to 210 trillion cubic feet.
Yes, I think 208.
But it's about 208, 210. You see, because it's growing every day. Okay. And we've set things in motion to ensure that we even increase it. Look at the bidding that was done for marginal fields. That was the aim was to increase gas reserves by another 10 trillion cubic feet. If that had gone through, maybe we would now be talking about 220. It was supposed to increase crude oil supply by another 600,000 barrels per day. 57 marginal fields were bidded for. 161 companies were awarded. But what is happening today? Nothing. It's gone back to the drawing board. Nothing has happened.
So now that the Minister of State for Petroleum is talking about it, yes. I know we had the Gas Master Plan since 2006.
Yeah.
And we really talked about it then, and afterwards. But now that he's bringing it back with what's going on in Europe and all of that, do you think perhaps this will be a motivation for that political and economic will you're talking about?
Maybe, maybe not. And I'll tell you why. In 2000, Mr. President, with the best will in the world, and in an attempt to move Nigeria forward, what did he do? He declared 2000 as the year of gas. He didn't even stop there. But let me ask a little question. That year of gas, what did he do for us? Did we stand at attention and make it work? Because then the president and the government were telling us that this is the year for gas, the year 2000. Next year, 2021. Maybe in an attempt to try and restate what he said in 2000, of 2000 being the year of gas for Nigeria, he now went ahead to expand it to the decade of gas from 221 to 231. That's where we are at the moment. What has that done for us? What are we doing to ensure that we latch onto that? Latch onto our president who is speeding up with gas development. Latch onto him and move with it.
Could the challenge maybe be investment? Because this is this requires
the problem here. The problem, you see, when you say it's part of it. I know several companies that are looking at expansion, particularly infrastructural expansion for gas. But most Western investors, please, I will say this with caution, but I think it's a conspiracy. Because I remember that so many of the companies were looking for investment in the past 3 years. What they got back from foreign investors was that we're going into renewables.
Yes.
No more gas and no more crude oil.
Fossil fuel.
However, in some of the countries, they are still using coal. Some of these countries are
still using coal.
Coal that refuse to give Nigerian companies support. What has happened? As if God heard our prayers, although unfortunately nobody will wish what is happening in Ukraine on anybody. But it has happened. The war between Russia and Ukraine has brought to the fore a conspiracy of the West against the developing countries. Because if we have built a trans-Saharan gas pipeline when it was envisaged, there'll be gas in Europe now from Nigeria. We have the Alps that taking gas to Ghana. How many times have Ghana complained about us not being able to give them gas? But building another Alps too. But the question is, if we understand what the Western world is trying to do to us, how are we helping ourselves to be able to surmount it and come out? But unfortunately, this is something for another day. What is happening today is not policies. It's not regulations. We have the best ideas. But we have a problem. We have a systems collapse. We have a total systems collapse. And until you address it and get you and I to become Nigerians and be willing to say, what can we do for Nigeria? We can make all the laws, beautiful laws, we can pass all the beautiful policies. But the policies don't have legs, they cannot walk.
Prof, maybe you should explain what you mean by system collapse and how.
Fine. You see, they say very simple thing, and a hungry man is an angry man. And a man who is hungry today will be so afraid of being hungry tomorrow. He'll have children. He will not want his children to be hungry. And he sees a cake he can take. He goes there and he's not looking back. He's collecting for himself and for his children's children, forgetting that there are millions of others that are required unless there is a judicious management of that cake. Most of it will go to waste. People take money, put in countries. What's happening to them? They die. Some we don't have access to it anymore. So we need to tell ourselves the truth. We need somebody who can come in, take this country from where it is, love the country to start with, be ready to sacrifice for the country and give it everything. You see, Nigerians were very good people. Nigerians are very good people. I remember during the first coming of our president, Buhari Diagbo. Then I was a young lecturer in the university. Most cases, people throw out banana peels from their cars. You carry your students in the car, and you peel their banana, extend their hand to throw it out, and bring it back into the car. The president was not here, there, Diagbo wasn't there, but there, the body language told everybody what you could or could not do. Today, what has happened? We've lost all that.
So, Prof, I mean, this, of course, you have said, links back to the season we are in Nigeria.
Exactly.
It's a pre-election season. We see that the delegates are the ones with the power now. And I know when I heard a little bit of conversation in our Sunrise program, yes, asking the delegates to please think of the children and think of Nigeria and, of course, not, you know, their initial benefits or their current benefit. So I guess this is also what you're saying at this time. But, you know, it will also be interesting to note that, to ask the question, where do we get that kind of a person? Because they say a society get the leader they deserve. And if most Nigerians, as you have described at this time, you know, people don't care if they throw the banana peel out there. So where do we get this saint, you know, that will get Nigeria out of...
We don't need a saint. We really need a madman. Really, you know, the most
you concur with the former president of Obasanjo.
We need a madman. You see, I look at Nigeria the way it is. If you give me ₦1 trillion and make me the president of this country, I will tell you, no, thank you. And the reason why I've did it is not because I don't love Nigeria, but because the landmines that have been laid already, even before the new, he hasn't even come into the scene. The landmines have been laid are so much to navigate it. He will need God to help him. However, somebody asked me, I was at the economic summit in Abuja a couple of days ago. And I was at the summit and we were talking about the new election, talking about where do we go from here. Because Nigerians, for me, really, we like always talking about, oh, problems. We never sit down to look at the solution. The day we start thinking of solutions, maybe that things will start getting better. However, he now said, whoa, Joe, each time you come, you sit in the conferences, you say the same thing, but nobody's listening to you. Why do you bother coming? And I said to them, listen, I'm not wasting my time. I talk about gas for the simple reason that I'm not an engineer. I'm a medical parasitologist, but I left medical parasitology to engineering to pipe natural gas. Today, my company will deliver natural gas to Ikorodu. We're going to deliver natural gas to the free zones. We're also building a tank farm in Port Harcourt to do LPG. Why? A medical man in engineering doing all this. He said, why haven't all the engineers been doing that? And I said, it's a calling. And the reason why I'm saying I keep talking is because I know, not in my time, not in my children's time, I know that for sure, maybe not in my children's time.
Wow, that's
but in the next 20, 25 years, people will start listening. You see, when you take so much, there comes a point in time when, you know, like the parable I say, you hold a child's toy up and you say, don't play with it. somewhere along the line, your hands get heavy. You bring the toy down, the child takes his toy. It's going to happen to Nigeria, whether we like it or not. So I encourage you, just let's keep talking.
All right, Prof. All right, Professor Joseph Ezigbo, Managing Director of Falcon Petroleum. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, we couldn't delve into the issue of transition, energy transition, and all of that. I think we got carried away with the realities of our time in Nigeria at this time. But it's all for Nigeria, and as you said, we will keep talking.
We'll keep talking. Yes.
We will not.
We don't have any choice.
We will not give up.
I love this country, and therefore I must keep talking. Yes.
All right, Prof, thank you so much for sharing your time with us this morning. Well, we'll take a break now. After that break, Nigeria and other African countries have been getting a lot of pronouncements on assistance on food security. How far, how well, how should it be used? Find out after the break. This is Business Morning on Channels Television.